Allen, the Nashville country music reporter in Tennessee. I'll say that country music is America's oldest form of popular commercial music. It's almost a century old. And in that way, it's a thing that's uniquely connected to all people, in the sense that regardless of your ethnic or social background, you have a connection to the genre, because it's been around longer than literally anything else. So in that realm, I'd say that there's a certain magic in country as well, because we've done so well to brand the lyricism and the musicianship and the qualities of the music that make it connect. And in that regard, it's a fascinating thing. So as much as a person who sings a song may come from whatever side of the political spectrum from which they come, the person that wrote the song wrote it with a certain intent. And that intent is interpreted by the vocalist and then the players on the composition. And that's where you get the real connected fiber. So regardless of who's singing the song in and of itself serves to have the greatest power potential. So if you say like Dolly Parton, who wrote I Will Always Love You, when Whitney Houston sings the same song, it connects because the lyricism of I will always love you from a soulful perspective or a country perspective still conveys the same message. So in that regard, if a country music artist were to say that, like, let's advocate for togetherness, or let's have peace, love, and understanding, that's the actual song that exists, then there's a potential that it would reach across those cultural lines and, exceed past those boundaries. Absolutely. I think that that's one of those things where people underestimate country music. Especially, I'll talk about country specifically, that's what I cover. In the sense that they look too much into the guiding dominant culture of the genre. So I don't have anything in common with a Kentuckian, they'll say, or I don't have anything in common with a rancher from Wyoming. But if you sat down and talked to them, as I do on a daily basis, and you ask them human questions about their humanity, about their lives, about are their bills paid, is their health well, are they succeeding in their career? Well, they're not. They're both not paid. Those are human questions, and that's the thing that supersedes. And when you find the great country songs dive into those actual human conversations, then you really understand how the thing works across cultural boundaries. I would say that on one level, the music industry's capitulation to streaming and then the digital influence decentralized the center from New York and Los Angeles, and allowed for a place like Nashville where you don't necessarily have to worry so much about the amount of money it costs to make a song. And this is a town that's been making songs again for a very long time. And they can churn them out pretty fast. So that allows for a place like this to have extraordinary potential and importance. And even deeper, when you get into the work being done for recreational equity in country music, where this was once a town where, I don't know if you're aware, but there are not a lot of black and brown and marginalized people who have had extensive careers in the genre. But after George Floyd and after COVID, you're starting to see that there's an openness to coming to town because commerce, fascinatingly enough, supersedes racism and sexism and gentrification and all these other issues. And if you're a great songwriter or a great vocalist, and you can, or engineer or whatever, and you can contribute to the economic bottom line of this town, which we're standing in a brand new food hall that didn't exist here 3 years ago, then you're a valuable person overall, and that supersedes any conversation about class or culture or ethnic or social background. And that's been a fascinating thing, because for Nashville to open its door in that regard is unprecedented. And it's a thing that actually looks like I'm the National Country Music Reporter for Tennessee. I don't know if you're aware, but that's an unprecedented thing. And I'm not leaving anytime soon. And there are more people in town who look like me than ever before. and socially believe things that I believe, and are willing to advance conversations and push conversations in ways that they don't push back. Country music, more than any other genre, pushes itself and promotes itself as faith, family, and fun. So when there is a murder, there's senseless violence at a Christian school, you're dealing immediately with 2/3 of that, faith and family. And so, while it's not across the board, not every single artist in the genre is spoken out, numerous artists, top to bottom, have things to say because it directly impacts them. So, if you're a country artist and you're 40 years old and you've been married for a decade, you have a 7-year-old child. And if you live in a certain part of town, you live in Green Hills, which a lot of them do, which is where the covenant school is, then you could have sent your child to that school. So it suddenly becomes a very impacting home front issue. And that's something that you're certainly going to speak out about because it actively impacts your life. And however way you're going to vote in a presidential election, or whatever way you're going to vote in whatever local municipality, the fact that you could have sent your child to a school where they may not have come home from school at the end of the day, that triumphs over any other overarching concern. So I was raised around the corner from Section 8 housing in Washington, D.C. And I went to school at a private school in upper northwest Washington, D.C. And I became a fan of country music when I was 8 years old. And my mother took me on a vacation to a trailer park in West Virginia. Throughout my very diverse and dynamic lifetime, I've always maintained a connection to the fact that whenever I need a story to make parts of my life make sense, country music, because its lock, stock, and barrel trade is in unique dynamic stories that fascinate themselves in the human condition. Country's always found a way into my life to help make it make sense. And post-COVID, when I was trying to get myself back into the music industry as a journalist, I've been a music journalist for 20 years, all of my other industries dried up. Good, bad, or indifferent, I knew Nashville was open. And when I arrived in Nashville, a funny thing happened. Nashville was open to my perspective and understanding on its core industry because on one level, I was willing and open to the idea that change needed to be sustainable in Nashville. And secondarily, my appreciation for the fact that this genre has sustained America, sustained its citizens, and sustained its various cultures for a century is incredible. And being able to preserve, protect, and advance that is job number one in my life. And I feel very honored to be able to do that.